we are we are discussing about the daily monitoring transaction codes. Also, we are discussing about the some of the performance related, which also comes under the daily monitoring only. So yesterday we discussed about the ST01 tracing related transaction code. These are the some performance related transaction codes. Performance. So SAP, the performance related transaction codes here. So it's a comes under the daily monitoring only. Daily we will check it out. But especially these are the performance related here. So ST01 is the transaction code. Then ST02 buffers and tune summary, and ST03 workload analysis, and also ST04. This is for the DB performance related things. So instead of that DB performance, instead of this DB performance, we have the other transaction codes DB related. So if you go to the ST05, this is the SQL trace, system trace, and ST01 is the system trace, and ST05 is the SQL trace. We can check it out here, right? Tune summary, so workload analysis, DB performance, and SQL summary here, right? So here, so here, can you go on mute, please? Work. Okay, I put them into the mute. Okay, so yeah, so here DB related transaction codes are there here. The transaction codes are starts with the ST01 to ST05. Then ST06 is for the OS performance related transaction code. OS performance means then we can check the CPU operating system level. What will be there? CPU, memory, so disk, and then the network related things we can check in the ST03. So SQL performance ST05, ST04 DB performance related transaction codes here. So SAP workload analysis here. Workload analysis, we can check it out here in the workload analysis. This is the SAP level analysis here. So if we go to this transaction codes in the SAP system here, so ST03 or ST03N is the workload analysis transaction code. See here, I don't see no one released any jobs here, right? So I know I already told you guys to release the jobs, standard jobs, so that when you release it, it will collect the information, the history, load it will collect from the operating system level. All the load will be populated here. That's what I am expecting. So, but since you guys are not released, so still it's released. But where is the performance? This is a job is very important. This is the job very important. I think it's released only in the few minutes. Maybe in the before the class itself, it got released it here. So responsible for this job is responsible for the collecting the load into the ST03 here. So this is the job which will collect the information here, right? So that is the main important thing here, ST03 here, right? So currently you see there is no load in the systems. Currently there is no load in the systems here because of there is no load. Let me check in the other systems we have whether we have the load in the system or not. Let's go to here. Yes, here we have the load. You can see jobs are released. So here we have so 28th, 29. If the 30 end of the day, then that load, and weekly and monthly, we have the load, right? So here we can check the loads and everything here. So suppose like yesterday, if you see it here, what is the response time? So yesterday you can see the response time 2673 milliseconds here. If you calculate the minutes, how many minutes will come, right? Then you can see in the yesterday how many transaction profile. If you go to the transaction profile, you will come to know what are the transactions are executed yesterday. Then in that, what is the transaction which is caused the high? So here you can see there is a one name of the job is called the collect job, which caused the very high response time. And also yesterday, someone copied from the client copy from 0001 to 333. They have copied. That is also taken the longer time. Then remaining all are the normal transaction codes only. Right. So here we can see the top contributors here, how much time it's taken for the each and everything here. In this way, we can calculate the performance. So and also we can also find out the who executed this one, who executed basis user. The job name is collect job, right? If you go to the time profile, you will come to know which time profile, which time you have the very high. So I can see here the 8 to 9 system time 8 to 9 this was executed here by whom? 8 to 9 this was executed by SCC9 is the very one of the thing, and remaining things also executed here, right? So in this way we can calculate the all the things and everything here. This is the SAP workload analysis, SAP workload analysis here, right? This is the SAP level. We can find out the workload here, SAP workload analysis. So if we go to the ST04, that is the DB performance monitor, how the database is acting. So SAP ST03, then database level, then what is the transaction code to check the database level? Sorry, if it is HANA Studio, we can go to the HANA Studio, then there we can check the database related. So the data and the transactions and everything, we can check it out, right? That what is that here, right? So here, so you no need to go to the database level. From here itself, SAP level itself, if you use the ST04, you can see the database level memory, current memory, paging, and what is the data, free memory, total log size, free space, all the information you will get, current alert history, all the information you will get it out here. So instead of using the DB04, you see the all the transaction codes are available. You see the performance, space, backup. This all will be covered in the DB topic time. DB time. So this all will comes under the so in the database administration part here, right? So, but here also the transaction code is ST04. You can see the here. So instead of this, SAP given the DB performance, you can use the ST04, and DBA cockpit is the transaction code for all the database related. Then DB cockpit is equal. Then you can see the DB01 database logs. This is transaction code is for the database logs. SAP logs. What is the transaction code?
Yes, I'm told.
SM12, then space DB02, DB01 database locks, deadlocks, and DB02, then DB13 database planning, DBA planning calendar here, calendar here, right? So then DB12 backup history, DB12 backup history here. So these are the very frequently we use this transaction codes here. Instead of that, you use this transaction code one by one, fine. Otherwise, just type the DBA cockpit. So DBA cockpit here. So you will get the all the database related transaction codes in the one screen here. All will be in the same screen. Suppose like if you execute the DB01 transaction code here, DB01. Suppose see here this screen, all the tabs are available here. So if you go to the DB01, the specific to the all the tabs are available, but this specific to the lock related details will be displayed here. The lock related details, it will be displayed here. But same tab, same screens only here. You can see same screen here. Then if I go to the DB02, this is a space. The space related tab folder will be opened separately. So then if you go to the DB02, the space related thing will be opened here separately. You can see here, space related thing is opened here, right? Then if you go to the DB12, the backup logs and everything we can check in the, so backup. Why? Because every day the DB backup will happen. So the backup logs, we can check it in this system here, right? There is no backup logs here, right? So all the tabs will open. Instead of that, directly you can go to the DBA cockpit transaction code, DBA cockpit transaction code. Then here we can find out the all the database related details here. See all the database related details, all the information. So if you go to any transaction code DBA related, or directly you can enter the DBA cockpit, you can see the all the database related details you can find out from here, right? So here the system landscape, what is the system configuration here? What is the database server here? So right, what is how many database connections we have currently initiated here in the system? It will give you the details here, right? And also database connection monitor. What is the how many connections are there in the database level? The connections monitor, which is coming from the SAP level. And database calendar, DB12, DB13. This is the database calendar here. Suppose if you want to run anything from the database level jobs, SAP level jobs, SM36, we can schedule it. DB level, if you want to run some jobs, then you can use the this DBA planning calendar. You can use it. Suppose you want to run some jobs here. You want to run some jobs here, right? In that case, you can select it here. You can select it here. Then you can create the calendar. You can create the calendar event here. You can create the calendar event. You can create it here. You can select it and you can create the calendar event. We can create it here. That's what we can do it here. Then performance, DB performance, ST04 or DB performance related things here. Logs, memory. So all those things we can see it in the DB performance here. Space. So here we can see that DB02 space. So this tab is for the ST04, right? This is for the DB02 space history. What is the current space? How much number of the total size of the database allocated? How much? 14 GB. In that, what is the free? So 8 GB is the free. So then you can come to know the DB size and everything. Suppose if you want to find out the largest tables in your database, largest tables. So in your database in NW1, what are the largest tables which are occupied here? Then if you open this one, largest tables, you can see the repo SRC, repo this one. These are the very largest tables here, which is occupied the most database here, right? So then you can see the tables list here, right? And also you can also see the fast growing tables. So which tables are growing very fastly in your system here. Then you can come to know the how much data it is increased. You can see the fast growing tables details and everything here. Fast growing details and everything we can find out here, right? So then you can also find out the database size history. Size, how frequently the size is getting increased in your database level here. Why? Because SAP will always store the data into the database levels, right? So then you can see the sizing history here, so that here you can see the allocated space here. Initially in the 16th 09 is the 13 plus, now 14 436. Then it's keep on increasing gradually. Your DB size got getting increased here. Your DB size got getting increased in the systems here, right? Gradually, it is increasing here. Then that one we can find out in the one graph level. We can increase it here. How? So for day to day, how the small graph, how the small portion it is getting increased in our systems here, right? We can see the graph wise, we can see it here, right? So in this way, we can find out. Okay, so in the weekly, this is the growth here. Then how many weeks? Then the next 2 years, how many? So then how much space you required? Maybe next 6 months, how much space is required? Then you will come to know the one conclusion here, right? Based upon this weekly how much it is growing. Then based on that we can find out here. Also, you can also find out the table size history of the table size here. If you go to the here, then we can also find out the table size history. We can find out here sizing details and everything we can find out here. We go to the additional functions here. Those are the different. So space related things, everything we can find out in the DBA cockpit, or directly if you open the ST02 transaction code, then you can find out the DB0 thing here. DB01 is the logs and everything here, right? DB13 planning calendar, DB12 backup history, right? ST04 performance history here. You can see ST04 performance related things and everything here. Backups and recovery. Backups, we can check the backup overview. All those things in this tab here in the screen, we can see the backup history. So scheduled jobs, the tables, restore history, backup history, all the information we can see it in the one screen here, right? That is the one. Then configuration of the databases and everything here, right? So that is not much used. So jobs, database level jobs and everything here, right? Logs, alerts, are there any alerts are generated in the database level or not? It will review the information, right? Everything is green except the DB backup. There is no backup since the last 41 days. There is no backup in the system, right? So then we need to take the backup actually. Then it will come to the green status. Any log files you can refer it here. So log files like any download the spreadsheets and saved packages or anything. We can download the all the packages and everything. We can download it here, right? The mainly the space and performance tabs are the very important here, right? Instead of that, directly you can use the individual transaction code, or you can directly go to the DBA cockpit. You can see the all the information here, right?
Sir, sir, suppose suppose SAP data file, how much space we need? There or not? I will check, sir. Here,
How
any
much
chance?
that is depends upon the size. We cannot say like exact the 20 GB, 30 GB data file is required. That is just depends upon the current usage, how much data is coming to the database level. One day, small
Mm,
data will come to the database. Then one day, GBs of data will transactions will happen. Same data will be stored here. So maybe if you go on check in the history here, based on that, maybe we can keep on increasing the file system space and everything also here. So if you see here the file size history here, so based on that we can also increase it here. How much used it is coming here, like that also 1 MB daily 1 MB is increasing here. The file system size daily 1 MB is increasing. You can see. So 28 how much? Then so
So,
21st weekly how much
mhm.
got increased? So 36 to 3641, so which means 5 MB 5, so not 5 MB 7 MB 7, so 7 MB 7 MB got increased here. So 1 week 7 MB got increased for one data file. Then 7 yes, 7 MB got increased, average 7 MB got getting increased here. So then 7 MB got getting increased here. Then what is the current DB size here? Current folder size here. So we are almost coming to the near. So not this. So there's a different system here. So we need to go to and we need to check. Based on that 7 MB. So 1 week 7 MB getting increased. Then so 10 weeks, then 10 weeks, then 10 weeks like that. So we need to calculate. So 10 weeks, how much? 7 means so 7 MB, 70 MB, 70 MB space. So then 10 weeks. So then 20 weeks, how much? So then like that. So we need to calculate it next 1 year. Then we need to do the
Yes,
analysis, the space analysis and everything we have to calculate it. So this is
yes,
the
sir.
here on premises. That's why we have the less data is coming here. So but when you go to the real time, we have the more data. Then in that case, we need to calculate this way also we have to calculate it in to get the data here. That is the way we can calculate the size. What is the current size, free size? Then when it is going to hit the when it is going to hit the so currently 5700. Now total free 5992, right? It's growing 60 MB. You can see here it is also telling like 60 MB, 60 MB, average 60 MB it is growing 10%. So something like that it is, you can see the calculations here. So based
Okay.
upon this history calculations only, then we can come to know how much disk space we have to increase in the E drive. So like that we have to estimate it here.
Okay, okay. Actually, earlier SAP data one specifically their mount point is maintained, sir. But now they are not maintained. Every 3 months we are increasing SAP as the table space,
Yeah,
sir.
table space we can increase it. Why? Because the table space is why? Because the real time data, right? The data
Yes,
transactions will happen. All the data will be stored to the database level. So that
yes, yes.
might be the reason you guys are increasing very
Frequently,
frequent.
3 months, 3 months like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Quarter, every quarter. So the thing is, whether the place is there, space is there or not, it's a little bit difficult enough for.
What you need to do check, like every 3 months you guys are increasing, right? In that case, what you have to do, you need
Uh,
to instead of that at a time only one time you can increase it.
okay, okay. Yeah,
Suppose
sir.
every
But
3 months,
there,
how much space you are increasing?
uh, 20 GB, sir.
Every 3 months 20 GB. Then
Yeah, yes,
if you increase the so 80 GB at one time, then 1 year it will survey, right?
yes, yes, yes,
But
yes.
you can also check what is getting filled in the tables levels. Which table is getting very frequently it is getting filled. So if you go to the table history, then
SAP
frequently
SR3. SAP SR3. Okay, table and
tables.
yeah,
SAP
okay.
SR3 is the table size in the
Yes.
Oracle level, table space.
Uh,
But in that, what is like in the fast growing tables, which tables are growing very fastly? So if the data, real data is coming, only locks are coming here. If it is the locks, then you can do the archiving or deletion of those locks. So like that,
Okay.
suppose like if you take the BALDAT table, this table we can delete it. This table data we can delete it here. And also some of the workflow jobs and auditing table jobs we can delete it. So that, so if you delete it, the size will be reduced. So it
So
won't
so
increase much.
so here we can delete that ball data, right, sir?
BALDAT table we can delete it. Table, not
Okay.
the table data records we can
Data.
delete it.
Yes. 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 Okay.
The table records we can delete it. If you go to the BALDAT table, the table records, because these are the logs actually. So these
Mhm,
records
okay.
we can delete it. It's not used anymore, these records. So we can delete it, these records.
Okay. Okay.
So the next one, ST05 SQL trace here, SQL trace. So SQL trace, ST05, if you click it out, ST05, so then here SAP level performance trace here. The call which is going to the SAP to database level, then we can trace it here. What is the trace? What is the RFC trace, HTTP trace, NQ trace, all the traces we can activate it here. Then we can deactivate and we can see which statement is causing the very longer duration. Those records, those things we can find out here. Which table is causing the very less. Sometimes what happens, the DB records, the commitments will take time. Also, DB, sometimes it will take time to insert the entries into the table level, but not sure which table level. So during that analysis time here, maybe if you see this table, these are the tables here. So if you see this one, it will come to know which statement and what is the duration of the statement, and it will come to know all the information here. So I just activated and inactivated in during this call, how many calls, how much it is the duration. See this table, select statement where mandate is equal to this table taking the very longer duration here, right? So to getting the data from the this one here. So we need to check whether the indexes, the tables, why it is getting the delay in this table only here. What about the other tables? Other tables, the duration is very less, but only this table duration is very high. Then we need to check what causing the issue. Any index problem, any primary index, secondary index, any statistics are required. So those things we have to analyze it and we need to fix the issues here. So that kind of tracing we can check in the ST05. So yes, performance trace ST05, the performance trace we can find out here, right? That is a tracing. ST01 and 02 are related to the tracing only here, tracing related things only here. So only as and when required, that time we will execute this tracing related transaction codes and everything here. Then if we go to the ST06 transaction code here, ST06 here. So this is the operating system level. So SAP level performance and workload and everything ST03. Database level DB04 or DBA cockpit. That is fine. Then SA now, so OS level, operating system level. Then OS level performance and everything ST06 here we can check the operating system level. What is your operating system? Then what is the operating system host server, the host information, right? So then in that what is the base? So then what is the, so like cloud provider, nothing, it's not the cloud provider. Yes. Then what is the CPU? So number of CPUs, how many in that number of cores? 9. Number of threads per CPU core. So this one means 18 threads. So then, so page in CPU means OS, memory, all the information we can see it here. How much, what is the physical memory total? 20 GB. In that free memory, 3 GB is only phone. What is the swap? 45 GB. Then, so all the information you can see it here clearly. So you can see the all the information you can see it here, right? And also just only CPU want to check it out here. The CPU previous hours CPU. If you want to check here, go to the previous hours, the history. We can check the CPU, memory, disk, all those things we can check it out. CPU, if you go to the CPU shortcut, we have the 18 CPUs currently for this system. In 18 CPUs, how the load is contributing here, right? So I think this is fine. I think CPU 1 is not taking any load. See, 0, 0. But when it goes to the all the CPUs are sort of equally distributing the load. When it goes to the This one, CPU 17. CPU 17 is taking very longer load here. See, 90% of load is taking, user load is taking by the CPU 17 only. CPU 17 is taking the load. But here, which CPUs are not taking the load means CPU 16 and CPU 1 and 6. It's not taking any load. Zero. These are 0, 0. These CPUs means it's not taking any load here. Means it's idle. Idle means free. So this type of analysis we can do it here. And also if you go to the memory, how much memory is used here. So that information will be provided here, right? That information will be provided here. If you go to the memory, Suppose I want to check the CPU previous hours. What is the previous hours, the CPU utilizations? Hourly wise, we can see it here. 0 hour, 1 hour, 2 second, third hour. What is the utilizations, number of CPUs, all the information. If you see the memory also we can find out here. What is the memory here? So what is the memory? So 30, 31st. And so you can see the memory utilizations and values and everything here, right? What is the disk utilizations? Disk. So C drive and E drive, we have the two drives. What is the utilization of those disks here? You can see it here, utilizations, right? History. So normally history will not be displayed here, but let's see. Right, history is not displaying. Why? Because data will be deleted actually, longer data. So OS related operating system level. You don't think like I need only OS level access to get. So from you can also go to the SAP level, go to the ST06. You can check the OS level, the top process. How many top process are there here? CPU process and CPU utilization, number of process, all the information we can see it here. Which process is causing the high CPU utilization, high memory utilizations, and all the information we can find. This is the top CPU process which are having operating system level here, right? So that is the information here. We have the SAP ADM. These all are the users which are consuming the top contributors of the CPU and everything here, right? So that is the CPU, that is the operating system level details we can find out in the ST06 here, right? Then ST07 is the so user user distributions, user distributions we can check it out here. So how many users are log into the each and every area, functional area, basis area, how areas. If you go to the ST07, if you go to here, so we can find out the user distribution here, application monitor user distribution here. Total number of users are 85 users in that. So work processor 19, in that active servers are 1, right? When was the last time restart happened? Maybe it is showing that 30. So then here we can see the how many number of logged on users 3, how many number of active users 2, number of work processor 2 are active here. So like suppose like here, if you go to the basis components, what they are doing. Some two people are opened the above runtime environment, two people are opened the sub environment here, right? Then we are doing the monitoring related ST07 one. I am opened here. That is the transaction code I have opened here, right? So this is the way we can user distribution, how the user distributions are working here. Number of users, what they are doing in the central one glance user distribution, we can see it here. It's not much useful, but to check whether users are correctly using the all the functionalities or not, we can check in the application monitor in the user distribution in the DB. The here we can check the all the information and everything. We can check it out here. Here we can check the all the information here, right? That is the main thing of the. So we can see the history also, response time of the history here. So other someone used this one and this one. What is the average response time? This one. So this is the response time taken the solution manager. What they are doing? Downloading the data. Someone service download. What is that? Okay, someone used this package, someone used this report, transactions are report. to downloaded the some data here, which caused the very high CPU and memory response time. So not sure who used this one slash SDFCOM collect data, right? See here clearly this is displaying the data here, right? So this way we can find out the all the details and everything. This is the reporter transaction caused the very high so memory and everything here, right? So that is the main thing here. So this is the analysis data. So someone collected the longer time data here, develop. So this caused the some analysis data and everything here, right? This is the report executed. So we can find out who caused that issue. Why? Because we all are using the basis user only. Only the basis user will be displayed here, right? So this is the way we can find out the response times here. This is the some performance related transaction codes here. Performance related transaction codes here. Along with this one, we have the AL11. AL11 means so all A11, all SAP directories in this transaction code, we can see it here. Sir, I want to check something means you don't need voice level access. If you go to the A11 transaction code, all the directories are here. Then you can go to the A11 transaction code. You can see the log file of the all the information you can find out here, right? So using the A11 transaction code, we can find out the all the information and everything. We can see it here.
Sir, but we can't create the directory, right,
We
inside
can
this.
create we cannot create it, but we can add it. Suppose there is a one shared folder. Suppose like example, so okay, this is the folder. Suppose like I want to add my downloads folders to the here, right? Download folders. Then what I can do, downloads, right? I need full path users. Suppose like administrators. Administrators. So I want to add this path here. Then what I can do, I can go to the here. I can go to the here. Just click on the configure the user directories here. The directory name here. This I can make it as a personal directory. Personal. Okay. So personal. Then click on the save button here. Right. So then this will create as a personal directory. Right. So then it is created. Then you can go to the inside of folder. But there is a permission denied. So which means I need to add this directory to the. So here I need to add the SID ADM user. So SID ADM user I need to add into this list here, right? So only ADM servers, SID ADM users. So what I can do, SID ADM means which user I will connecting. So it's NW1, right? Then NW1 ADM user I need to add. Okay, this user is not there here. So from here I cannot add it. So okay, this is the this is the gem server. I'm trying to access the my gem server details here. No, you have to access the only those related details here. Means KP online one, what is the host name, that host name related details only I can add it here, right? Suppose if you go to the KP online one, so here what you want to add it here. So suppose example, so I want to add the SAP MMD, SAP local. So suppose like SAP local, you want to add it. Then you can add this one. This will work, right? So this will work here. Go to the personal, configure the directories, then save it, right? So I want to just personally monitor this drive here. Then, so this will work. See, this is working here. From SAP level, we can check the file system directories and as well here, right? Personal. So you got the access here. So this way also we can add it here 11. Only that file system level related directories we can add to the here. Okay.
Sir, if a deadlock happens in the system, if no users are not able to log in to the system, so in that case, what we can do?
Deadlocks.
Yeah.
Deadlocks happens, then there is no way to kill the HANA level. We can kill the lock entries, but if it is the non-HANA databases, definitely there is a restart is required. Definitely we have to do the restarts. Why?
Oh,
Because
no users
Sir.
can't log in, right?
Yes, sir. We have done earlier.
yeah,
Right.
right. Why? Because deadlocks DB level, right? So other databases we don't have option. On our databases there is a right click and kill option, but even though sometimes it won't work, so then definitely we need to do the restart only deadlocks.
So no users can't log in, right? If it
Deadlocks
occurs.
happens and system deadlocks happens only means only maybe two persons are in the collisions or something, but users there is no relation. In case worst case scenario, what will happen? System performance will be go down. Then when system performance is very bad, definitely it will impact the user login procedure as well. Yeah, definitely it will impact the user login procedure as well.
Yes, in that case, in that if it is on a system, how we can kill that
There is
deadlock?
a
Like in
HANA studio.
the DB
Yeah.
cockpit, we can do something, right?
No, studio level or cockpit level, right click on there is a sessions and threads. There we can go to and we can check which. So let me show you. Suppose example, okay. So in the suppose like if you take this one HANA database here in this way, so suppose here you find that there is a performance tab here. So alerts tab, performance tab, overview tab, configuration tab, which we have seen in the DBA cockpit transaction code. Here you see the blocked transactions list here. Then right click on the transaction, you will see the so then you can see the right click and delete it here. Otherwise, you can see the session. In the session, you can find out the which one caused the very high. Suppose like this one is causing. Then so right click on this one, then cancel the session here. Session the cancel the session ID. So that will be cancelled. That will be cancelled status here. So that session will be killed here. So this way, so we can find out the which one is causing the issue and everything here.
Like
But other databases, manually there is a some queries are there, but that sometimes that does not help.
Yes, yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah, cancel session ID something, kill ID something.
Lady, yes, yes,
In that case, we need to do the restart only, the final solution.
yes.
Okay, so that is the one. That is the fine. Yeah, that's it. I think I don't want to take full one today.